This leads us to how to implement SAFe. So conceptually, we have a simple strategy: train everyone and launch trains. Let's look at that a little further. We call that implementing SAFe 1, 2, 3. So over here, you see what I've just described, right? Train the lean agile change agents. Many of you watching this course are one of those. Come to class, get your SPC certification, your SPC4 certification, and then you'll be able to vector out into your enterprise or into the public, but let's just take the enterprise construct and teach leading SAFe. So you'll teach the instructor-led version of this class. You may use this course as part of that training and other videos, companions that go along with it. But let's train the executives and the managers and the leaders, the people that we need, right? The ones that really do own the systems that we work in. And we might even do that, we'll probably do that before we train the teams. Because when the executives understand and lead, it's a whole different matter. Any form of change is a lot easier when we have the full support from our managers and leaders to do that. And then we'll train the teams and we'll launch trains, okay? One Agile release train at a time, we'll build our Agile portfolio. And when you do that, you'll get business results, like others have gotten business results. And I talked about those some in the overview. As well, you'll have access here to a very wide variety of consultants and coaches and trainers and tooling from virtually all the ALM tools. Tool manufacturers support SAFe. We call this our Scaled Agile Partners and SPC community. So there's 70 or 80 partners. There's a dozen different tools. All the popular ALM tools support SAFe. You can reach into almost certainly your favorite consulting organization. Your big system integrators are going to be familiar with SAFe and they can help you with that. And you can achieve these types of business results, the type that I mentioned in the overview of this course. 30 to 75% faster time to market, substantial increases in employee engagement, job satisfaction, decreasing turnover. In particular, where we've monitored turnover with outsourcing, you see a much lower rate of turnover. Quality, as I mentioned, 50% might seem unlikely, it's routine. And productivity, measured productivity. I mean, in the cases where people have gone in and measured function points per developer per month, measured productivity of 20 to 50%. And if you're an executive or manager and you want to know about productivity, you can measure it. I don't advise it. Just ask the teams. Ask a developer whether this Agile method is more productive or not. And I think you'll know what the answer is. If you, like others, execute well and you train everyone and launch trains, you should see these types of business results. How do you know these are true? Well, we don't write them, we only publish them. We don't write case studies, we don't edit them, we rarely contribute to them unless somebody says, hey, would you take a look at this and make sure we reflected the scenario right. What do those case studies report? 30 to 75% faster time to market. That's a pretty big change. It's actually the easiest one to achieve. What do they also report? Defect reduction, 50 plus, in some cases more. I think there's 2 or 3 case studies that came in now with 90% defect reduction. Due to SAFe? No. Due to the lean and agile methods that SAFe can help deliver to your teams. What else? A 20 to 50% increase in productivity has been measured by people that have brought in third parties. By the way, not that I suggest this, to measure productivity of development before and after, and we see gains like this. And in the informal case, if you ask the developers, are they more productive? They'll typically say, we're way more productive. We're twice as productive or 50% more productive than they were. And if we're achieving faster time to market, if the quality is higher, and if the individual productivity is going up, what do you think happens here? They're happier. We hire very motivated people, and we're privileged in a way to be able to hire and bring on highly personally motivated knowledge workers. And when they get these type of results, their motivation goes up. So we've seen turnover drop, especially in outsourcing. You can typically see a pretty dramatic reduction in turnover over time, because being part of an Agile team, being part of an Agile program, being part of an enterprise that is improving its practices all the time and is constantly getting it done in the marketplace is very rewarding. It's not just rewarding for them, it's rewarding for you too. So a change is afoot, but fair warning, change is hard. I think we know from Kotter, and this most recent, the overleaf, if you will, the introduction to the latest version of Leading Change, beware 8 big mistakes. Number 1, allowing too much complacency. In order to affect change, you have to have a sense of urgency. Now, many of you are standing on burning platforms or programs that are struggling. Well, guess what? As hard as that seems, that's the easy case here, because people are motivated to improve. Others are going to have to take a strong leadership. Others are working in, frankly, the most profitable and most successful companies in the world. And we're going to have to take a statement that says, we are very successful and profitable, but that will not continue to be the case unless we make the changes we need to become a more lean and more agile enterprise. Failure to create a sufficiently powerful guiding coalition, okay? When we come back to the leadership module that I mentioned earlier, we're going to come back to a number of these, and this sufficiently powerful guiding coalition is a key element of success. And SPCs are that. You are that. Those attending this course are also going to help contribute to that powerful guiding coalition. Underestimating the power of vision, how important it is that the leadership express not just the why, but create a postcard of the future. Create a story that says it will be much more fun to be operating this way, and we believe we can do this. And create a sufficiently compelling case where people want to go with you. People join. The people that you lead will say, I'll follow that. That's a powerful vision. And once you have that vision, communicate, 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 communicate. One of my peers and mentors says you got to basically, in the world of communication, you got to communicate 8 times 8 different ways. Kotter says you're underestimating the power of communication and the vision by 10 to 100 times. Communicate, communicate. Don't let obstacles block the new vision. Don't let our systems, our viewpoints, our beliefs, our current values, the way we currently approach the problem of corporate culture be the obstacles to block that. Failure to create short-term wins. Let's get some arts to produce great work. Let's solve a problem. Let's get a team or 10 teams to deliver value and use that as our point of light, our shiny spot that we can use to focus on what can be done in this enterprise. Don't declare victory too soon. Those who do not support the change are certainly happy to buy cake for that party, okay? We want to get real progress. We want to be humble about our progress. We want to be certainly thankful, and we want to talk about it, but we want to be humble, and we say there's much more that can happen here. Do not declare victory too soon. Cultural change comes last, not first. Perhaps that's surprising for some of you, but we're going to need to anchor all those changes firmly in the corporate culture. So that's where we're headed. Change is hard. Beware the 8 big mistakes. Allowing too much complacency, failure to create a powerful guiding coalition, the power of vision, don't let obstacles block the new vision, create some short-term wins, do not declare victory too soon, and when the time comes, let's start to anchor those changes firmly in the corporate culture. So that wraps up lesson 1. And my hope is that in this lesson, you recognize the problem to be solved and the need for a new approach. We certainly talked about that. We introduce you to the basic constructs of SAFe. We'll have a lot more time in this course to go through those in depth, but I just wanted to get you roughly familiar with the levels and some of the roles and responsibilities in SAFe and what it is as a website. And we explored the 1, 2, 3 implementation strategy. Not a complete overview, but at least enough to get you started thinking about how to apply the new approach. So that's it for lesson 1. Let's move on to lesson 2.